if you bring some Justin Bieber vocals into a Psytrance song, then I guess you would hear some backlash from me. Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about genres. So a couple of years ago, Psytrance got like a big hike due to Triplets, and it was around time that I actually switched my music taste from kind of like an uplifting trance to Psytrance, because I just like that, driving bass line. And it was funny because the timing of, coming of Triplets into the scene was aligning really well with my taste, actually shifting from uplifting trance to Psytrance. But one thing I realized that as I was listening to Psytrance songs, I was also hearing a lot of Triplets, like Vinny VG came into the scene, and then Armin van Buuren started making some, collabs with them, and it was just becoming this like whole thing where Triplet, drops started being used by these mainstream artists. And I just kind of hated it. And I just thought to myself, dude, I love Psytrance, but I don't know if I like this Psytrance. It's, it just didn't kind of speak to me. And as I got more into the scene, I realized that I wasn't alone with my taste of not liking Triplets. A lot of people started talking about, how Triplets suck and how they're used by people that sold out. I'm an avid listener of electronic dance music since my high school years, and I'm not that old, but for the most of my life, since I developed my personality coming up to this point, I know myself as being an avid listener of electronic dance music, even though my taste has changed. But I almost always like the idea of kind of sticking to one genre. And even though my taste changed, I didn't like when some producer produced something else than that genre. And today, I find myself in the space of being a producer of Psytrance music. My idea of producing Psytrance music, I feel like is always gonna stay the same. If I feel like I'm trying to produce something else than Psytrance, then I wouldn't probably call myself a Psytrance producer. Now, there's this notion of, having these triplets and still being able to call your track Psytrance, which is I'm totally okay with. But if you're, introducing like super weird, like ATB kind of leads into your Psytrance song, then I'm not really sure if I can actually, associate this sound with the genre of Psytrance. Because we have genres, and genres are defined by specific sounds. These specific sounds have been used by a lot of people throughout many years, to the point where they actually define the genre itself. And if you ask me as a Psytrance producer, hey, you produce Psytrance, you are expected to kind of produce these certain sounds with your take on them. Of course you can introduce some other elements, but let's say I only have my Psytrance kick and Psytrance bass, and everything else is kind of like taken from different genres, then for me at least it becomes really hard to call a specific track as a Psytrance track. And I see these discussions around Psytrance community where people talk about accepting different ideas, everything should be in peace, all this and that. But also I don't really think that applies to the sound that you're producing. I understand, as like human beings, yeah, we have to respect everything, we have to be welcoming everything, but I'm not really sure, if you can put race and FM stab in the same basket. I feel like we're kind of, comparing apples and oranges in that sense. To give an example to this discussion, I think I just want to kind of talk about, what happened to me in the past. I started listening to Psytrance music because of Armin van Buuren, because of his, earlier albums from 2003-5. It came to a point where he said, don't be a prisoner of your own style. And this guy made a remix of a David Guetta song, who back then was like, big room house music producer, who still is, and he's just like kind of becoming into the scene, making collabs with all these pop stars and everything. But back then, I heard Armin van Buuren saying something like, don't be a prisoner of your own style. I was just like, oh man, you're just laying the foundation of being a sellout. And in Psytrance, being a sellout is so easy. I feel like the community really, stays strict with the rules. And I guess I just want to mention today that I kind of want to agree with not welcoming different sounds into the production, but also having that clear distinction between a Psytrance sound and, I don't know, like a pop sound. If you bring some Justin Bieber vocals into a Psytrance song, then I guess you would hear some backlash from me. And this is just my personal opinion. I just wanted to, kind of come clear with that because I've seen a lot of different discussions in the community. This has been a discussion that I see going around in Psytrance community. And I think I just want to state my own opinion and come clear of what I think about from a Psytrance producer's perspective and how I feel like Psytrance songs should kind of stay within the genre's defined, soundscapes with a little tweaks of, your maybe cultural background or your musical background. But in order to, keep Psytrance songs being Psytrance songs, I do feel strongly that we should be using the sounds that we've been hearing in Psytrance tracks for some decades now. I think today's video, I just wanted to kind of bring my own statement into the discussion, and it's been kind of really subjective, we don't really have science to this, but I kind of want to hear what you guys think. Let me know down below in the comments if you think that Psytrance should be welcoming more sounds or if it should stay kind of isolated with the sounds that it's sort of been built to it with some regulations or, small amount of adjustments that might come from people's backgrounds or people's, cultural upbringings. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching this video.